An incredible earthquake has struck the Mariana Trench, displacing millions of aquatic animals and causing extensive damage to the geography of the trench itself. GRR has no affiliates near the trench, so reporting is scattershot at the moment. And, of course, our signal doesn't reach down there. So let me be frank. Who cares? Anytime I see a picture of that place, it's always some goofy fish with a flashlight glued to his head and a mouth full of razor blades. The sooner it's swallowed up into the Earth's crust, the happier we'll all be. One less thing to worry about. There, I said it.
Alright people, it's time for you to get your ballots and put them in the ballot boxes, because it's time for us to look at the parody of politics, Hail to the Chimp.
Hey!
Now, it's quite interesting that this game isn't really talked a whole lot about. This is an amazing game. I mean, it makes fun of politics, it makes fun of the media, and it stuffs it in an amazing party game, which works very well with the idea of parodying politics in the media. So, this whole thing's obviously centered around parodies of politics and media, and they combine it into, you know, a party game in some cases where you do things like collecting clams or stuffing ballots into ballot boxes, or in other cases, you giving clams to other players to appear generous.
Who wants to buddy up, huh?
So, it's quite interesting how they've made this game to parody politics and the media.
The
camera's focus on...
And another thing they've done to make this game amazing and really fun and enjoyable, other than the multiplayer essence of it, is the different maps that you can actually choose to play on. Each map seems to be different with its own little gimmick. Some maps have switches that activate things, others have, you know, there's this one where the volcano every once in a while erupts, and you got another one where, you know, a ship's in the middle and sometimes sinks and comes up, and, you know, other levels you can fall off, and rivers, and it's just really compact and well made.
You're insane!
Crackers makes a deposit. Anybody want to come back?
Another thing that makes this game really interesting is the characters. They have a whole bunch of characters in this, and each one is fleshed out with its own amazing, great personality that parodies different politics. You know, you got a hippo that wants to just party and have fun. You got a walrus that's like really mellow and cool, and he listens to like classic rock, and he makes a bunch of like puns, like Beatle puns, Pink Floyd, and Rolling Stones, and so on. You have a polar bear that's like for the environment, and you know, you got a platypus that's like looking at, like, let's think of children. It's just amazing with like all these different characters they have, and each one in fact does make fun of different politics, because you got all these different politics that do actually have those kind of personalities that they try to portray to the people to make them vote for them. So it's quite amazing what they've done. Another interesting thing is the music. It's really upbeat, and that just makes the whole game more fun, because, you know, one thing you want to do is you want to be playing a game and you want music that matches the gameplay, which this does. You don't want, you know, to play a game and you have like completely wrong music going into it. So that's just one of the things.
Put it down.
I said it.
Yeah, great team.
There's a set for Murgatroyd.
Another thing is, I don't know if you remember, but I was saying that it parodies the media. At the main menu, and you also have an extras menu, where you get to look at this news station on the main menu called GRR News. Obviously, that's making fun of CNN. And if you don't really do anything at the main menu, the anchor just sort of talks about other stories in the news that are making fun of actual stories. You know, someone died. That's how it just works, and it gets hilarious. I mean, it might not sound hilarious, making, you know, laughing at death, but they do a good job at it, which is surprising. You also have commercials that also make you have commercials that sometimes you can watch if you want that make fun of actual commercials too, and actual shows. There's one that makes fun of Oprah, and it's called Orca. Funny. And you got one that makes fun of those different kind of pills people take for those reasons. And it's quite amazing what they've done to make this game overall amazing in parody and gameplay.
Crackers completes a set.
All right. Ow!
So, what it comes down to is overall, I give this game, a solid 9, because, like I said, the gameplay's fun. It's amazing. You got these parodies of politics and the media in it, and you got like the great gameplay to put it all together. But unfortunately, when you play the game through, in single player, when you play the game through to the end, or when you played a bunch of modes in the multiplayer, you get this sense of there should be more to this game. It feels like more should have been added to this, which in some cases it does seem like that. But nevertheless, this is an amazing game, and I highly recommend it if you're into the idea of parodies on politics and media, and you're also into party games. So there you have it. Hail to the Chimp.
Jerry, that's not news. That's an ad. Could you at least give me some stories where somebody dies? I just won the Pulitzer for gravitas, I'd like to demonstrate why.